I want to bring in former Clinton pollster Bernard Whitman, also Republican strategist Lisa Booth. Bernard, I'll start with you. Hillary Clinton on under a tremendous amount of pressure. It's self-inflicted pressure once again.
I think that you're going to see a full-throated endorsement by Bernie Sanders tonight of Hillary Clinton. We have the most progressive platform in the party's history, in large part because of the influence of Bernie Sanders supporters, the influence of Hillary Clinton supporters. You have inclusion of things that Bernie Sanders holds very dear: fighting income inequality, pushing for a federal minimum wage of $15, expanding the public option into Obamacare, making college more affordable for all Americans. And I think you're going to see a huge contrast. At the Republican convention in Cleveland, you saw the runner-up fail to endorse his own nominee and get booed off stage. You're not going to see that tonight in Cleveland.
But, what we're already seeing in Philly, though, Lisa Booth, is extraordinary scenes outside of Bernie Sanders supporters who are not happy. And you got to wonder, the full-throated endorsement tonight, whether that will make a difference to these folks who bought into the ideology, probably more so than the men.
Well, absolutely, Charles. And, too, you cannot discount the fact that a DNC chairwoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, is stepping down from her position and is also not going to be presiding over the convention throughout the entire week. This is huge news, and that is very important to point out the impactfulness of this. And look, if you're a Bernie Sanders supporter, you've been justified in your line of thinking. Bernie Sanders throughout the entire Democratic primary was saying that the system is rigged. This is also a narrative that Donald Trump has been driving, and the reason that they've been driving this narrative is because the system is rigged, and this does help Donald Trump, because you look at a lot of Americans that believe that there's a different set of rules for Hillary Clinton and for an average American, and that's something that is seen in polling, even just in regards to the private email server and private email, when you look at the fact that a majority of Americans believe the FBI should have brought forward or recommended an indictment, including 60% of independents and one-third of Democrats as well.
Right. Bernard, on that note, apparently when I heard Debbie Wasserman Schultz speak this morning, she said that Hillary Clinton has asked her to be a surrogate. I mean, how tone-deaf does the Clinton campaign have to be? They should have put her on a plane yesterday to Florida and said, listen, in a cabin somewhere in the Everglades, and with a padlock and a key, and say, we'll come get you in a week. I mean, really, it just doesn't make sense to me. They're not listening to the voters, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, let's look at actually what the facts are. The facts are that Hillary Clinton actually managed to get Debbie Wasserman Schultz to resign the convention, to resign her role as chairman of the Democratic National Committee. I actually think that she frankly should have resigned effective yesterday rather than effective at the close of the convention. But I think that is what you're going to see, people taking responsibility for this. And at the end of the day, the emails that were leaked, the thing that we should be truly concerned about is where that leak came from. And what really concerns me most is that Russian military intelligence, probably under the direction of Vladimir Putin, is trying to meddle in the U.S. election. We've never seen that before in the history of our relationships with Russia, even during the Cold War. And this is largely inspired by Donald Trump. Why? Because Donald Trump has made it abundantly clear that if he's elected president, he will give Vladimir Putin a free hand to do whatever he feels like doing in the Baltics, and likely all over Western Europe. Donald Trump wants to remove us from NATO, which would give Vladimir Putin a free range in Europe.